Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick cinnamon sugared pecans candle from Bath& Body Works. This candle has been out a few years now, and I bought it the very first year, and it was just largely unscented, and the fragrance itself just wasn't super awesome, that I actually returned it. And then it came back out again for a second year, which I believe was last year, and I was like, girl, I don't need to try that one again. But I felt like I saw reviews or heard reviews of people saying that it was really good and strong and awesome and all this kind of stuff, so I was like, okay, whatever. So then this year came around, and I remember that, and it was also in the most darling, cute packaging ever, and that kind of like was the nail in the coffin for me to buy it and try it again. And as you guys know, I do change my opinions or thoughts on candles sometimes, so I like revisiting candles that maybe I had blasted earlier and try them for a second time and see if I, change my thoughts or opinions on it. And that was the kind of impetus for the candle review on this right here. So the notes on this read: warm cinnamon, toasted pecans, and brown sugar. And yeah, after having burned it, I really haven't changed my thoughts on this whatsoever. I do feel like it's maybe a slightly little bit stronger than the original one that I had, but it's just like nothing groundbreaking or awesome. Yeah, I feel like this is probably my least favorite or the most basic of their like pecan type of praline fragrances, and I just don't really see, something too special about this. But what does it smell like? You just get that sort of like generic, like cinnamon and brown sugar dusted, oily pecan fragrance that you get from Bath& Body Works. It's not too far off from like, pumpkin pecan waffles, but pumpkin pecan waffles I feel is still super like superior to this fragrance in the sense that it has the waffle batter in there. The pecan is a little bit more nutty, and then you also have that like sort of heavy cream fragrance in there as well. I feel like pumpkin pecan waffles, despite it being like burnt and grody towards the mid-range, is still a much more juicy and robust fragrance than this is. This is kind of more similar to the what is it, the Texas pecan pie or the sugared pecan pie that we've had before. It's actually quite similar to that if you kind of remove that sort of buttery, sort of vague pie crust note that you get in the sugared pecan pie and just are remain left with the sort of brown sugar, cinnamon, and like spiced pecan note. That's kind of what you get here, but it's just very diluted and bland and weak, and it doesn't really have much oomph or power to it. And so what you get is definitely that sort of cinnamon and brown sugar blend in there. The brown sugar almost comes off a little bit savory mixed with the cinnamon sugar. And then you get like heaps of this like oily pecan note. And it's probably the most oiliest of their pecans. And that's what I don't like about it. It just reminds me of like grabbing a bag of like stale old pecans from the back of the pantry. And then you open it and you smell the oiliness in there. You just get that sort of burnt, oily pecan smell mixed with cinnamon sugar and brown sugar. But then overall, once again, just very sort of subdued and subtle. And like if you smell true like cinnamon sugared pecans or almonds, like let's say at a theme park or at the mall, and like they're making them fresh, that is just so much more of this juicy, sweet, awesome, robust experience that this candle just does not live up to. I feel like if you're looking more for that experience, honestly, like pumpkin pecan waffles is a little bit more similar to that, or like the praline pecan fragrance from Homeworks is more similar to that realistic like pecans or almonds at a fair type of fragrance, is more closer to those, whereas this is just like this kind of, I don't know, just sort of like watered down, oily version of, I guess, what cinnamon sugared pecans is supposed to be. But despite that, it has now come out, I guess, 3 years in a row now. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean the masses don't like it. And maybe people just kind of like that basic sort of cinnamon sugared pecan fragrance without too many frills to it. But so like there's clearly still a market out there, because they wouldn't continue to, push this product out 3 years in a row unless it was a good seller. So yeah, that kind of blows, but it just goes to show you the sort of like difference between, I guess, what I might prefer versus what the masses prefer. But in any case, my thoughts pretty much remain the same as it did the first year, and let's go into the throw and performance right now. This is I think a second burn actually. It was filled not too far up, and it also burns really fast. So it almost is like in the mid-range point, but it's only on a second burn because I fully intend on returning or exchanging this candle because it's just not giving me what I want. As for the throw, I would say just very much in like the 3 to a 4 range. It's like not super strong. It's not a heavy hitter like pumpkin pecan waffles. It just kind of just lightly permeates the room that you're in. So yeah, very much 3 and the 4, like light to almost medium range. And for that, I'm just like, this is just so bland and basic. I just really don't need to hold on to this. And of course, for the performance, it's doing fine. It has the thick rope-like wicks on it. It isn't deading out, even wax pull in no time. So we're good to go there. Once again, this isn't terrible or offensive, and if you're just somebody who isn't burning candles for 10 years in a row or whatever, like, yeah, this is totally fine and pleasant, you can burn it. There is a little bit of an oiliness in there that is unpleasant for me, but it is kind of nitpicky that, like, if you have this burning in the background, you have it, like, a guest comes over, or if you smell it at somebody's house, like, it's gonna smell like a cozy baking action, especially nice during, like, a, cool winter month, that it's not terrible, but for me, who's a little bit more discerning, once again, a total, like, one and done, actually return and, like, exchange back to the store, just because like pumpkin pecan waffles or praline pecan or like praline delight, they're just all so much better, more juicier than this is. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.